Joe Proya is from Guaranteed Home Mortgage, a proud sponsor of Property Source Radio. Glad to have you here today.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here. Appreciate everyone inviting me today.
First things first, Saturday morning, why are you in a jacket and tie? Hey. I mean, the shorts look good, but the jacket and tie.
I'm a businessman. I guess I've got to meet clients and look the part.
Working busy on a Saturday. Yeah. Well, I'm curious to ask some questions here about Guaranteed Home Mortgage. First of all, thanks for the hat.
Absolutely.
It'll help me out with my new haircut when I'm on the golf course.
Absolutely. Keep the sun away from you, too.
Yeah, it's important. You gave us some sunscreen, which is nice, too.
Don't forget the Gumby.
The Gumby?
The goodie
That's
bag
cool.
was so cute. There's magnets and mints and pens, and then there's Gumby and suntan lotion, and I love it.
Thanks for all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Explain to me what you guys do, Guaranteed Home Mortgage.
We're a licensed mortgage banker. We lend across the country. What we do is we actually fund our own loans, underwrite our own transactions, and what we do is we sell our loans on the secondary market.
You're a bank.
We are a bank.
Uh-huh.
Yep. We're I like to say we're the Sam's Club. You know, we're able to offer wholesale pricing to our clients. We have warehouse lines which allow us to keep our costs a little bit lower to the consumers, and we sell those loans off in the secondary market.
Mm-hmm.
So you can save me money then. If I'm, how do you save me money?
We're a direct bank. We underwrite the file. We're able to offer better pricing because of our streamlined process.
Okay.
We get you a better product. Usually we can be a little bit more creative because we're in-house. We make decisions based on common sense sometimes, not some of the strict guidelines that traditional banks, community banks might offer.
Yep.
Do banks not like you?
You know what? Banks...
I mean, you're in competition?
They are my competition.
Yeah.
You know, we have good relationships with a lot of the banks around here. You know, we get referral business, and our warehouse lines are through these banks. So we're a wholesale channel. You know, they need us in the industry.
So I can imagine with mortgage rates being as they are or having been so low recently that you're probably slamming right now as far as business goes.
We're busy. Now's the best time. I mean, rates just dipped again, the best they've been in 9 months.
Give me an example, okay, just so we understand the rates. I've seen a lot of articles on the lowest ever. What kind of normal people buy or average consumers buy a 30-year mortgage when they buy a home, right?
Absolutely.
What would a 30-year rate be with 0 points, which means no extra cost up front to buy down the rate?
4.5% on a 30-year.
Okay.
You're looking as low as 3.75 on a 15-year mortgage.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I just was at my bank the other day trying to figure out CDs, certificates of deposit, just a couple days ago. And I said, what's my savings and my regular savings? They said 0.10%, tenth of a percent is the interest I'm getting, which is horrendous. But that's why, you know, on the flip side of it, when you go to borrow money, it's horrendously cheap or reasonable, if you want to call it that. So I think it's a great time to buy a house. I mean, if anybody's out there looking for a home or thinking about it, what are you, nuts? Pull the trigger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. What mortgage is the best mortgage to get? I mean, I suppose you can't just generalize, but
you know, I won't generalize. I mean, in my opinion, the spread between a 15 and a 30-year isn't a lot right now. And for somebody, you know, you might want to pay off some debt, take a 30-year mortgage out. You know, payments are going to be very realistic. You know, in my opinion, that'll get, you know, you get the best bang for your buck on a 30-year mortgage.
is it half the price of what it would be of a 15-year?
You know, it's not half the price it would be. I mean, you're still paying a higher interest rate, but you know, depending on disposable income and families these days, you know, times are tough. And if you can capitalize on a low mortgage payment and maybe shuffle some of that disposable income to, you know, other parts of your life that might better you.
Some say, the experts say, it's good to always have a mortgage.
You know, you get a tax write-off. I mean, I'm not an accountant, but you know, we feel pretty confident that our business is long-lasting. You know, you mortgage, you get write-offs. People want to have home ownership to create equity, create, you know, the savings.
Joe, what I've heard a lot of realtors. We have do business with a lot of realtors here on Property Source Radio, and they're saying the lenders have been very difficult at lending money. Are you guys seeing that you're easing up a little bit? Are you guys loosening the belt, so to speak, like to make it a little bit easier for a person to qualify for the mortgage, or what can you enlighten me on with that?
Yeah, there's no question about it. I mean, the credit markets have been tough. Everybody's familiar with the economy and the crisis we've seen. You know, it's that old, you know, pendulum effect. You know, we were at the extreme. Everybody and their sisters could get a mortgage.
Yep.
And now we were at the point where it was tough for anybody to get a mortgage.
Okay.
The markets are easing. The government's, you know, helping, you know, solidify funds to let the banks lend, keeping interest rates low. So, the confidence is slowly coming back into the market. The banks are slowly easing their guidelines, and it's just, it'll loosen up.
How long have you been in the business?
12 years.
So you were right in the thick of all the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and how did you do during that time? I mean, how was things?
I mean, if you didn't do good during those times, you probably should never have been in the business. That was a great time. I started in the business. I was born in the business down in Florida, which, Florida, the market was very aggressive. Came back here. We had 100 people working for us. We had 3 offices. We've grown significantly as a corporation. Guaranteed's been around since 1992. So we've seen the ups and downs tremendously over the life of, the company. Volume is definitely going to be increasing. Lending's getting easier. We should be at a point, hopefully, over the next couple of years where we get back to where it was.
Now, when we talk to realtors, they always say, the spring and summer is usually their busy time. Do you have a busy time, or is kind of all year just busy?
I mean, we're a national lender. You got to take weather into fact up here in Rochester. We do everything. We do commercial, we do residential, we do refinances and purchases. Real estate agents generally just do purchases. So, who wants to move in the middle of the winter? You've got
Right.
kids in school, so the summertime is our busiest time. But, when rates are low, we're busy year round.
I can imagine.
Joe Proya is our guest, Guaranteed Home Mortgage, a proud sponsor of Property Source Radio. Glad to have you with us today. We're here till 10 o'clock at Sports Radio 950 ESPN. What's a good day for you on the job?
A good day for us is every day. When we
Come on.
close
when
lots
you're
of
not
loans.
sober.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? When we get out to the community, we do a lot of events. We try to, give back. When I meet with a family that's maybe had some trouble, they've been renting, not thinking home ownership was a possibility, and I sit down with them and shake their hand, and they walk out, 3 inches taller, feeling that they're going to be able to move their family into a home, have a backyard, have a driveway to park their car. That makes me feel good.
Achieving the American dream.
That's
essentially.
That's
Yeah,
it.
That's nice.
Home ownership is the biggest financial decision people make in their lifetime. That I can aid them with that and educate them is it's a big thing for me.
That's another good point, because there's a lot of people that are renters that don't even think that they can afford to purchase a home. So they would never even go and look into that venue. You know what I mean? They wouldn't go down that path. But if somebody can educate them and show them that they can buy a home, that's great. That's your job.
That is my job.
That's a great thing.
First-time homeowners must just thrill you.
You know what it is? It's very exciting to see somebody, move into their home for the first time, actually get that key at the closing table and watch their eyes light up. They're preparing for the future.
Do you remember when that happened to you?
I do. Very scary process, when I wasn't, young, but it was enjoyable. I've owned a home for the past 14 years. It's something I was able to do at a young age, and, it's been, a dream of mine to continue it and help people achieve that same dream that I was able to accomplish.
That's fantastic. What's a bad day on the job for you? I asked what a good day is. There's got to be days where you just leave and go, oh, my God, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I guess a 90-degree day with a suit on.
And the air conditioning breaks.
Yeah, listen, we're there's bumps, there's hurdles in this lending world. That's what it's about. So sometimes we've got to be creative to overcome obstacles. We have good days, we have bad days. We like to think most of our days end on a good note, and we try to keep it that way.
So I got another quick question, Joe.
Yep.
Guaranteed Home Mortgage, you guys say you do residential?
Yes.
You do commercial?
Yes.
Okay. And what else? Anything else?
Well,
Or-
we say specialty lending.
Okay.
We're,
Will you help me buy a boat?
Well, no.
Yeah.
We're a collateral-based lender.
Okay.
We lend on properties. So.
Okay, gotcha. Just wanted to understand that.
Yep.
Good.
Website is GHMC, Guaranteed Home Mortgage Company.com, GHMC.com. You got also link it through PropertySourceRadio.com. And your phone number is 698-1551. What kind of questions? I mean, if someone calls, what's the first question they should ask? I mean, what ducks have to be in a row before we get to calling you to get the show rolling?
Well, really, I'm there to guide them with that. They can call me with no education and no idea of what to do. We have to look at income, make sure income supports the loan. We have to look at credit, make sure credit supports the loan. Those are the two main underwriting factors. Length of employment, assets. There's different products that allow us to maybe tailor one way or another from that. But mainly income and credit. That's something that we have to look at. We write paper down to 620 credit score. Income wise, we're depending on the property they're looking to buy and the debts and other obligations. We have to look at that and analyze.
Are there some people who have no right at all to even think about buying a house? And is it tough to tell them that?
You know what? I don't.
Or will you find a way if you can?
I'm not the bank that you walk into and you walk out unhappy. You walk out with some education. If I can't get somebody into a house today, I'm going to give them a path and a couple of steps to take so they can achieve that goal, whether it be 3 months, whether it be 6 months, whether it be 12 months down the road. We're going to give them a vision.
Yeah. A goal to
Absolutely.
To hit that target down the road. If they cannot afford one at this time for whatever reason, you just say, I can't do this because of X reason, fix X reason, and then we can do it.
Right. I mean, when it's an income issue, generally you could either scale back what you're looking for, or we discuss other job options, but more or less credit, we can give them a little bit of a path on what to do, what to get paid off, and, how to try to achieve this goal.
Is that like debt to income ratio you're saying?
Absolutely. Debt to income, it could be derogatory credit. It could be, a rough college, past.
loans.
I mean, it depends. Everybody's different, but we try to do our best at addressing each individual individually and, assess from there.
So you can truly say there's a house and a mortgage for everyone.
Absolutely. Or we can at least put you on a path to get there.
Very cool. It's a Guaranteed Home Mortgage is the company, the website, ghmc.com. And, of course, you can link that as well through PropertySourceRadio.com. It's Property Source Radio. We're here till 10 o'clock at Sports Radio 950 ESPN. You work on Saturdays?
I do. We work a lot. We work 7 days a week.
7
Wow,
too. Yep.
7 days a week. That's awesome.
You working tomorrow, too?
We
What
do.
are you doing tomorrow?
We host a lot of open houses with local real estate agents. So we'll try to cater when a client comes in to look at a property. We might have some ideas for them of what it would take to get into the property, make it a little bit more of a realistic vision when they're out shopping for homes.
Do you provide donuts and stuff? And because I'll show up at the open house tomorrow.
It's usually a little later in the afternoon, so we like
wine.
Etna's pastries
Here we go.
and
There we go.
cheese and
Now you're talking
pepperoni
my
trays.
language.
Good.
Oh,
Okay.
the pepperoni
Just
tray.
write down the address you're going to be at tomorrow, and I'll be there.
So you get a bunch
Etna's
of,
pastries.
who did you mention?
Etna's pastry
Etna's
shop.
on Lyle Avenue. Oh my goodness! If you haven't been there, you have not lived.
Oh, he had a cookie from there last week when I brought him.
I
in,
did.
think.
Yes, I
Oh
did.
yeah. So yeah, you know.
See, I kind of lean toward Dark Horse Coffee myself.
Right? Might as well.
The official coffee of Property Source Radio because Jeff Haley owns the joint. But
Gotta love it.
yeah, so far. All right, let's take a quick break here. I want to regroup. I got a few more questions that I want to ask you, Joe, to find out a little bit more about the great work you do at Guaranteed Home Mortgage. Can we take a break here, Alex?
Yes, we can.
Property Source Radio, Sports Radio 950 ESPN. Hit that button.